Hi everyone, I'm Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I want to welcome you to our weekly tutorial. I've been doing a series on our Sale-a-bration items, so I'm excited to share another one of those with you today. So I'm going to go ahead and get you all flipped upside down. And let's turn this so you can see what we're looking at. All right. Perfect. Okay. So today we are doing, I'm showcasing a Touch of Ink stamp set. This is one of our $100 level sets. So we have two items that are both free with $100, or each with $100, I should say. This one is a Touch of Ink, and then we have the Buried Blessings, which is a stamp set and some designer series paper. I feel like we're at a little bit of an angle here. Okay. So today I'm going to do a Touch of Ink, or showcase. We're going to do three projects, and I'm going to partner this with the True Love Designer Series paper. This is the black and white pattern paper. It's on page 11 of our mini catalog. I love any black and white paper. It goes with so much, and this paper is great because it's all floral designs on one side and then graphics on the other. I personally love the graphic side because it can go with any stamp set. And then even the florals, though, we have some larger patterns, and then we have smaller patterns. And these larger ones are really nice for coloring and cutting out. And then we have the busier background images. So love, love, love the True Love. I truly love it, the designer series paper. So I didn't have enough left because I have used all of it to show you in person, but I'll be using it again, so don't worry about it. I have some on order. But before we get started, because this is such a great stamp set, I wanted to show you some of the different ways that you can use these images together. So first I want to show you some of the coloring techniques that you can do. So we have these great outline images. Then we have these, so these are the outline, and you can see they're much larger than what's shown on the front of the case. These are just at 65%, so they're nice, big, bold images. Then we have a fill-in, this is a two-step stamp, so you stamp an outline, then you can stamp the color, or you can color with markers or watercolors or pencils or whatever you have that you enjoy coloring with. Or you can stamp the colors inside. So I'm going to show you a few different ways you can do that. So I just stamped out, a couple of these different ones. And we'll start with the hummingbird since it's up on top. This is the filler. It doesn't have the beak of the hummingbird, so it's just the body. And these are more of a watercolor wash look, so they do not fit exactly into the outline. So it's okay if they don't. So it's not going to. If you want to fit exactly in the outlines, you're going to want to color these. So I'm just going to show you a couple different ways that you can do this using the blocks or the block color. So this is Granny Apple Green. I know a lot of hummingbirds, all the hummingbirds at my house are brown. They're not colorful. So, but if you look online, a lot of them are green or have green tints to them. They're kind of iridescent. So you can just ink up and stamp right on there. Another thing you can do, I'm going to use the same Granny Apple Green. I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp off once. So it's going to be lighter, and then I'm going to go back and kind of do a little rock and roll and put a little extra ink back onto the stamp. And that gives you a few much lighter tones on there. Okay, and then another thing you can do, you could do that same thing. You could stamp once, stamp off, and then do rock and roll in another color, a darker color. But I'm going to do something. I'm going to do this a little different. Since we do have different colors of hummingbirds, I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of coloring with my Stamp and Write markers. I'm going to do a little bit of Granny Apple Green, and then a little bit of Poppy Parade. I'm going to do that kind of in the belly and the throat area. And then I'm going to do a little bit of Old Olive, which is a slightly darker green. And we'll do this kind of maybe under where the feathers are, maybe a little bit up here, a little bit right in the middle. Just going to do a little bit of highlighting and slightly darker. Then you're going to give it a huff. I think I have ink on my lips now. I got a little too close. And then we can just stamp right on there. And then that gives it a little bit different look. Okay. So going with the butterflies, we can do some of the same techniques. I'm going to go with, I'm going to start with Daffodil Delight. A lot of my colors are downstairs. I have our annual Stampery event coming Saturday, so a lot of my ink pads and almost all of my blocks are downstairs. Okay, so what I did was inked it up in Daffodil Delight, and then I did a rock and roll in Pumpkin Pie. Now, I've got to be honest, what I did last night, you know, sometimes I took my Daffodil Delight and I had to re-ink it, and my Mango Melody ink was in the wrong spot next to my Daffodil marker, and so I re-inked my Daffodil with Mango ink. And once I realized that, I tried to get as much off as I could and then re-inked it, but I think I'm going to have to get a new Daffodil Delight ink pad. You can barely tell. Hold on. Let's try, we'll do Saffron. That's a little more yellow. So you can ink it up, we're going to ink it with Saffron and then do a little bit of rock and roll in Pumpkin. Let's see if that makes a difference. A little bit. So you can see, and then it's going to be bigger than your butterfly, so if you want to cut that out, you can. And then let's do one with a little bit of markering. And I'm not sure how the blends markers work, so let's try doing this with a little bit of blends. I'm just going to go ahead and go with, what is this, Mango. We'll do, I'm going to color the whole thing with my light mango marker, since we seem to be having a mango theme, even though we don't have any mango ink out here. I just don't get it, what I was thinking. I always look at the color before I re-ink, and for some reason, I didn't do it. Okay, now I'm just taking the darker mango and just doing like a little going out from the kind of this little center area. Let's try this and see how well that works. That does not work. Look, no ink came off at all. Okay, so let's not use blends. Oh, now that blend just stayed right on my marker. So that's not going to work. All right, let's go with just using our Daffodil marker. So that's something we learned today, that our blends just don't work on our, maybe if I'd spritzed it with some alcohol, it probably would have worked better. Now we know. We'll have to try that next time. All right, I'm just going to do the same thing using Daffodil and Pumpkin. Let's see how that works. Look, color. So that looks kind of cool too. All right, we're gonna do just a little bit more and then we're gonna get to our projects. I'm gonna wrap these up. And really with these, it's gonna be the same thing. But we can stamp these real quick. Here we have these leaves. I like this little leaf stem. I'm going to do Old Olive with this one. These are nice and quick, so you can stamp them. You can stamp off once. And then I'm just going to do like my tips, the edges in darker Old Olive. Let's see how that looks. Oh, I like that. And then we'll use a little magenta on our flowers. I seem to have magenta here. So when you're stamping, especially, you know, if you're going to do several, this is the quickest and easiest way to do it. Look how cute that is. I'm going to stamp off once. And then I like doing the rock and roll. That gives it more texture. Just rock it around on there. Ooh. Okay, let's try one more. I'm going to try and see, whoops, I need the big end. If I can do this big flower area with magenta. I need to do this part too right here. And remember, when you're coloring on stamps with your markers, use the edge of your marker. Okay, I'm going to do magenta, and then I'm going to do an orange, this big one down here in orange. We'll just see what this looks like. I'm not going to use this on a project. I'll probably save this for my scrap box. And then I'm going to use Poppy to do the buds. I don't know that this is going to look good, but we're just going to do it just to see the color difference. Breathe on that. See if we can sort of line that up. Yep. I feel like that worked fairly successfully. So you can do different color combinations on there using the markers. Okay, let's move on to our projects. So today, since I'm using the black and white paper, I'm doing fun folds. So we're going to do 3 different fun folds, each black and white with a pop of one color. So let's start with this one. We're going to use the butterfly. You can see there's some Wink of Stella on there. And this is just a 1/4 sheet of basic black, and I've done some layers, and then a small little card that opens up. So I've just done black and white, and then my pop of color is Poppy Parade. So I'm going to show you how to put this one together. So we just start with a 1/4 sheet of black, so it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I've put a piece of Poppy Parade down here, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. So we're just putting a little mat right here. And then I'm going to use this paper. I just love this one. It's almost like polka dots. I can't talk. Polka dots, but it's like little diamonds. And then it has this busier paper on the back. But we're going to go with this one aside for now. And this is just cut 1/8 smaller. So this is actually 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And I'll post the dimensions later on my blog. Okay, this is a sheet of Poppy Parade. And I had a ton of Poppy Parade scraps left because I cut it wrong when I was cutting for Stampery. I do make mistakes. You guys don't see them all, but I do. So this is 3 inches wide by 8.5. So when we fold it in half this way, looking for my bone folder, our little card is 3 by 4 1/4. Okay. So then I've just put a little piece of Whisper White on the inside and a piece for the outside. And on the inside, I think I'm going to, I've got to get all my stamps back out here. We're doing a butterfly on this one. Let's see. So let's get some Memento ink. All right, we'll stamp our butterfly right here. And then we can do our leaves on the inside. I wanted to try to use most of the stamps. I'm not putting these on the outside. I'm just putting a little bit right here just to give a little more interest to the inside of the card. And then we're going to use Thinking of You. We can all use someone to think of us right now. So I'm going to do Thinking of You on the outside, and then we have a little bit of room left for a quick note on the inside. Just, you know, if you want to do this, like get well soon, you know, that leaves, a lot of people don't like to write things, so it's nice to just have a small space, and then you don't feel like you're required to write a whole huge note. I just like to write a quick little something. Okay, so for the front, before I put that on, I'm going to do a little quick coloring, and I'm going to use the Poppy Parade since that's our accent color. I think I'll start with dark, and I'm just on this one just kind of doing the bottom of each of the little segments on the butterfly wings. In the dark, and then fill it in with the light. You know, I'm not the world's best colorer, so I'm just going kind of simple. Just to be honest. I like to go quickly. And this is going to be one color, so I'm not going to add a whole lot of color. I went out of the lines there. That's okay. I come back with a little bit of dark on the body. I'm going to leave his head white. Let's do just a tad bit of blending here. And this blending is just to soften up the little lines between the areas between the dark and the light. Okay, just ignore my little faux pas. All right, so the ribbon I'm using is the metallic edge ribbon, which I love, one of my favorites, but it's white because I didn't have any Poppy Parade ribbon. So I'm going to make sure I have enough here to tie a knot. Hopefully that's enough because I've already cut it. Those used to be my ribbon scissors, but I don't think they're going to be anymore. All right, so we need to make this poppy colored. So I'm going to just color it with my dark. I try to use the darker because the color is a little more intense. With my dark Poppy Parade blend. What's nice is because this is alcohol based, it dries really quickly. All right, so we've colored our ribbon. I'll flip this over, make sure my ends, this ribbon's kind of thick, so you might want to just double check both sides, make sure the color goes through. All right, and give that just a second, and let's put a little wink of Stella somewhere. I know I had one here. Here it is. We use a little wink of Stella on our butterfly. Go ahead and add that while we're waiting for this to dry. do like a little bit of bling. That's subtle bling. Okay, we're gonna tie this around in a knot, and you could do a bow, but I'm just doing a knot on this one. Hopefully that's dry. It does make the ribbon a little bit stiffer when you're using the blends on them, but that's okay. So we pull and get a nice cute knot there. And let's trim this off so it doesn't try to cover any words or whatnot. Then you can kind of adjust it. I'm going to push it up just a hair. All right. And then, all right, get going there. I am a messy stamper, I'll tell you what. I go through so many placemats here, grid paper while I'm working. That's so cute and sparkly, and that little bit of silver edge on the ribbon gives it some sparkle too. All right, so now all we have to do is stick this onto our card front, and I'm just gonna center it and just eyeballing it. Hopefully that's on pretty straight. And I feel like it still needs a little something else, so we're going to add a few rhinestones. I have a little partial sheet of rhinestones here. I'm going to do a small, medium, and large on here. So let's do small, or that's large. We'll do a medium kind of coming down, and then we'll do a small one above the ribbon. Whoop, lost it. Hold on. There we go. And that kind of fills in that area, kind of gives you that rule of threes. So you have 3 areas to kind of show a little movement in your card. Okay, so that is card number 1. Isn't that cute? It's just a little different way to, you know, a little fun fold, fun opening card. All right, so next we're gonna do another one, but we're gonna go with yellow this time, with Daffodil Delight. I love this one. I used one of the patterns that's the black and white polka dot, but it's mostly white. And then the card actually unties, and then it opens like this. Whoop, I had some glue sticking there. And then you could put a sentiment in here. You could add some paper. I just left it. So this is a card that if you want to write a little bit more, we'll stamp a sentiment on this one. Okay, so let's get our supplies. It's not a lot of supplies. This is just another quarter sheet of black cardstock. And then I have the same, I have a layer of the Designer Series paper, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. We're just going to stick this on. You know, usually our big piece is our card that opens, but I want to do a couple where it's not necessarily the card that opens. All right. So then this, oh, I didn't score this. This is 9 inches long by 4 inches tall. So we're going to score it. I'll just get our scoring tool out and get a stylus. Still haven't recovered my stylus from behind my cabinet. And we're just going to score it at 3 and 6. So we're going to have 3 panels of 3 inches wide and then 4 inches tall. And we'll just kind of accordion fold that. Give it a good crease. All right, so it lays pretty flat. So we'll open like this. I'm going to open it up and do my stamping and coloring and everything before we assemble. So with this one, we're going to do another butterfly. And do I have my butterfly out? Let's see. I'm trying to find my butterfly outline stamp. Where it went. Here it is. still in the case. All right, get our Memento ink. I'm going to do my butterfly. I'm actually going to stamp it on scrap paper and some scrap cardstock because we're going to cut it out. We're going to give it just a little more dimension. And I'm going to do my flowers. So my flowers are right here. I'm going to put them here, but I want to move my stem a little bit. So you can take the stem, actually, let me put it up here. So that is how it normally goes to the, you know, when you're looking at it to the right. You can turn that. I'm going to take this. Give myself enough room to turn it. You can turn this to the left a little bit. So if you want, you know, especially with these nice photopolymer on these long, if you have a long stem and you want it going the other direction, feel free to just scooch it over and make it go a different way. Have this coming off right here. All right. Now I'm just going to, I think on this one, I'm not going to put a sentiment on the front. So this is something you could do any type of writing, and then you could have a big space, or you could just do a small space if you want to put paper here and then just, you know, adjust it to how you want. So my accent color for this one is yellow. So I know I'm going to stamp this daffodil, even though it has mango ink in it. Still can't believe I did that. But we're going to try it and see. It's going to be daffodil-ish, mango-ish. We'll see. If it doesn't look good, yeah, it just looks like mango. You guys, I ruined it. Let's go with saffron, which is more yellow. I would do crushed curry, but my crushed curry ink is downstairs. So let's do this. Let's flip it over. We're going to try it again with some saffron. Go with the saffron yellow. You guys always double check your ink refills before you refill your ink pad. All right, not as bright as yellow as I would like. Should I go with my marker? Probably, but I don't want to take time to do it again. So we're just going to go with the saffron. And you know what? I might just, do I have Daffodil Delight marker? I'm just going to add a little bright yellow in here. Let's see if that makes a difference. I'm going to add a little daffodil. Kind of gives a little more texture. And then I'm just going to take my, oh, I should have used the light. I add a little yellow just to my flowers, just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Where's the light daffodil? A little bit of light on top of that. Okay. All right, that's what we're going to go with for today. Lesson of the day, double check your ink refills. All right, I think I can go ahead and glue my back panel to a little black mat to kind of help it stand out from all that polka dots. And this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, we need to do a quick trim of our butterfly. I feel like on my other butterfly, I cut it right on the lines. I'm going to go around just a little bit and leave a little bit of a white border on this one. Okay. Can cut a little bit faster if I'm leaving a border too. And then it doesn't have to be quite so precise. And if you kind of cut off those big chunks, it makes it a little bit easier to maneuver. All right. And then cutting these little legs out, I'm telling you what. That's one reason why I like to leave a little white, especially if it has super thin lines that are part of the design you have to cut off. If I can cut them off, I would, but you know, I don't want my butterfly to not have legs, so I'm not going to cut them off. Get a little bit better in there. All right, throw that on the floor for now. Okay, we can pop this up. Got some dimensionals here. I'll just put 2 on, that should be enough. All right, pop it up. I like it kind of coming off the paper a little bit. And then this is where we could either use this ribbon. Oh, this is the it's the Daffodil Delight Ruched ribbon, which is what I'm using. Now, if you don't have this color and you just have some white, you can absolutely use some white ribbon. You could color it daffodil if you want with markers or your blends. I'm doing a bow on this one. I'm not doing a knot because this is one that's meant to be opened. So a bow is going to make it much easier to open than if you were to tie that in a knot. All right. Plus it adds, even if you didn't color in your flowers at all, just adding that bow would add, you know, that pop of yellow right there. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Get that going. All right, we're just gonna, just like the other one, pop that up right in the middle, and then let's add a little bit of bling with some rhinestones. I think I'm gonna do, I could put them there. I'm gonna do my big one here, my medium one down here, and my small one, I'm just gonna do it down here. You know, you can do whatever you like. So there you go. Oh, we need some wink of Stella. Hold on. Gotta add a little wink of Stella to our pretty butterfly. Okay. Just do it to everything. We could add some to the center of our flowers too. Why not? Isn't that sweet? Love it, love it, love it. Okay, last one we're gonna do, we are going to use our hummingbird. Is that pretty? I'm using Granny Apple Green, and then this is a fun fold with a gift card holder. And I have done this before. This is my favorite gift card holder to do. So easy. All right, so our pop of color with this one is Granny Apple Green. Just gonna leave that there so you can see. And this is 4 1/4 by 11. And then I scored it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And then I actually, after I scored it, I shaved just a hair off of this end. I cut just a little sliver, and I'll tell you why. Because I wanted it to not interfere with this fold, because you fold it in, fold it again, and sometimes it can bow a little bit if it goes right to the crease. It can cause kind of a it won't fold over as nice. So I cut like just a 1/16 inch off of that. And then to make it a nice gift card holder, I took a 1 1/2 inch punch. This is one of our old style punches. And just cut a notch out so when you put the gift card in, it's a little easier to pull out. And then I'm just using a little bit of Tombow on the edges to make just a little pocket. And that should hold it plenty tight for our gift card holder. All right, so now here's the front of our card. And what I've got is 2 pieces of black, and I'll put the measurements on, and then a nice layer. And I went with the kind of this busier pattern. It's little teeny daisies. So you need 2 of these panels. And it's got the black stripe on the back, the diagonal stripe, which is nice too. I always feel like diagonals are sending me in a direction, and where am I going to go with that? I need something that it's directing me to when it's diagonal. I don't know why. I was thinking about that last night. Why don't I like diagonals? Because I feel like it's pointing me somewhere, but I don't know where. So I opted for this fun little background that was busy, but it's okay because we're going to cover most of it. So, oh, I think I'm out. I think I just used it all. All right, now I put another one. This is the exact same size. So I put them on either side of the front, and then this one's going to stay when I open. So I need an inside piece to fill that. Is that the right one? This one right here, that's the right one. Okay. I have a little bit of snail I was using. And this is not big, so I'm going to stamp. This is for a gift card holder, so I feel like it needs to say best wishes because it's a birthday card. I mean, usually you just give, you give cards for, gift cards for birthdays, more like. Although I like to give my kids gift cards for other occasions. But I'm going to go with the best wishes for this card. And then leave a little bit of space there. I have adhesive. Okay. So the inside of our card is all done. So now we just have our outside panel to decorate. And I just have some more black and white with our theme. And I'm going to put, let's do the flowers. I'm going to do this in just black. Let's take that off though. And we'll just have this coming up there. And then we'll put our wonderful hummingbird on. If I can find where I put my hummingbird outline stamp. That's a leaf, there's the butterfly, flowers, hummingbird, where did you go? You know, here it is. It's sitting under my So Saffron ink pad. All right. Gotta squeeze them in there. Okay. Move that out of the way. And let's do a little bit of coloring on him. Since we're doing Granny Apple Green, we're just going with our one pop of color. So I think what I'll do him a little different. Do the tops. Kind of go in that direction with the dark. And then we'll fill it in with the light. Okay. I'll do a little bit of blending here. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. And then let's go ahead and do a little bit of Wink of Stella, because I just think, you know, one thing with the hummingbirds is they do have a real pretty iridescent shine on them. Now you could, of course, add more color to this if you want, but I'm going one color per card. Those are the rules today. So sometimes I really just like to set myself like super strict limits and then see what happens when I do that. It's just kind of fun. It's a fun challenge. You guys should try it. You just say, okay, I'm going to use this stamp set, this paper, and this color scheme and see what you can come up with. All right, so I'm going to cut myself just a little bit of ribbon because I wanted just a little bit more green. So let's color this piece. Same silver edge metallic ribbon. And we're going to color, make sure both sides are pretty colored, because this one's going to fold in half. So I don't want any white showing. All right. Make sure our wink of Stella is dry. We're going to adhere this to the black. What's so sparkly? I love sparkle. All right, we're gonna pop this up. Now you could glue it. If you were gonna glue it, just make sure you only glue this half, but we're gonna pop it up. But first I have to staple this on. I'm gonna fold it this way. And if it's too long, I can trim it, but I'm going to staple this. I wanted to staple it this way, but I don't know if I can get my stapler in there. It's just a itty bitty stapler. My other one was out of staples. Can I get it in that way? No, I'm just gonna go this way then. Now my stapler's not gonna work. I'm holding it upside down. That's the problem. All right, I think I'm gonna have to cut this off a bit. Cut them too big. All right, how's that go? That'll work. Okay, let's pop this up. Do these. And then less than halfway, because I don't want this showing when I open my card or sticking to the back of the card. So we just want to center it right there. Okay, perfect. And then, of course, add 3 rhinestones, because that's what I said. 3, I'm going to do 3 on each card. I love 3. If I don't do 3 rhinestones, my kids say, Mom, you don't have any bling on there. Although they give me grief for bling, so I don't know why. Okay, there you go. So here are the cards we made today. Show them one more time. Let's clear everything off and make it look pretty. They look so much better on a nice clean surface, don't they? All right, so I hope you had enjoyed this today. Just remember, touch of ink. You can, look, they're all coming out. Touch of ink, Sale-a-bration. You can go to sandyreese.stampinup.net to shop 24/7, shop in your pajamas, just like you do with, you know, all your Amazon stuff. And then if you spend $100, you can earn this for free, but it comes with 17 stamps. That's a ton of stamps. And you don't even have to color with markers if you don't want. It's got great fill-in stamps. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 sentiments. It's got a fun little kind of splatter here, a small leaf, and a fill-in as well. All right, thanks for stopping by today, and I will see you next week. All right, bye-bye.